What's up? Welcome to another edition of the Sports Office. Good to see you here tonight. We got a full house. Hammer's here.
Hi, Hammer.
James is here. Woody's here.
Yeah.
And we got a good show for you tonight. We got a lot to talk about. We got, obviously, Michigan State playing right now. Pistons have won 8 in a row. We're going to talk some NBA. And to help us do that, yes, and don't forget, let's just get it right off the bat. You can join us in the show. That's the Zoom link right there. Just hit it. You'll pop over here into the Zoom room where Tommy is. And Tom.
Did you get upset that I threw your little guy?
No, but we do appreciate our sponsors. We got a new hat here from our good folks at Chevy.
Can I wear it, Miller?
We got a new hat. Well, it's stapled. So we're going to leave that here.
Don't staple it to my head.
Yeah, there you go.
Do that. But our good friends at Chevy, we appreciate that. Our Corvettes are going to be here in the next month.
Excellent. Red for me.
Vinnie Goodwill joins us now from ESPN,
Yeah,
NBA senior writer. What's up, Vinnie?
Hey.
What's going on there, everybody?
Hey,
All
man,
right.
it's good to see you. And we trust that
Likewise.
the new gig is treating you well. I know you've been all over watching games. Tell me about the Knicks. What's going on with Brunson? Did he get hurt last night?
Yeah, he got a grade 1 ankle sprain, which means that not all ankle sprains happen in Detroit. It means it happens other places too. He's day to day. He's going to miss tomorrow's game. But the Knicks, they won 5 in a row, but they're still trailing a team at the top of the Eastern Conference. That's surprising, right?
8 in a row for those Pistons.
Unbelievable.
Not sure who they were last night, but whatever they put out there won. Dennis and Reed and all those guys getting it done. What's the buzz around the league about what they're doing in Detroit to start this season?
Shock. I think a lot of
Shock
people
and awe.
expected this team to have a good start. I don't even know if the Pistons expected to have this start when they looked at the schedule. You kind of forecast everything out from the first 15 or 20 games to see exactly where your expectations should be. But when people around the league are watching this team, they're looking at Cade Cunningham and saying, what a leap he has made from even last season to this season. But more importantly and shockingly, they're looking at Jalen Duren and saying, wait a minute, how expensive is he going to be this offseason if he continues this Chris Webber or Amari Stoudemire type of pace? Like the past couple of years, he's had issues with injuries and maybe staying in shape and playing at the right pace. He's beating everybody down court now. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and he's the perfect pick and roll partner for Cade Cunningham. This has been the best case scenario for the franchise aside from the injuries. You couldn't have forecasted this to go any better.
So when Jalen first arrived, there was some thought, maybe he's an old school big man and we don't know where they fit in the league anymore. What is he doing to make himself a guy that is absolutely fitting in the league right now?
You know what's funny? He's got great hands. And that is like so easy to say. But when you see someone who doesn't have great hands, who's butterfingers all the time or whatever, you're like, oh yeah, you recognize that. When stuff hits his hand, he catches. And that's on the defensive glass. That's offensive rebounding. That's at the top of the square. Him getting himself into great shape and acclimating himself to today's game. Like if you're not going to shoot threes as a big man and play from 18 feet out, you better be a dominant player inside the paint, because by sitting down there, that means, the Yasar Thompsons and the Ron Hollins, they don't have the driving lanes that they would normally have if you had a pick and pop 5. So he's making himself extremely valuable on both ends of the floor. Defensively, he's competing. And I think that's the one thing that you had concerns about going back to last year. Was he going to be able to compete on the defensive end and stay with big man and everything else? You saw what happened with Karl Towns in the playoffs. He's raised his game to such a high level. And yeah, restricted free agency is coming up, but he's just 21 years old. Wow. Like he is still
that's crazy.
Young, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the whole core is so young. And Vinny, I want to ask you, I know when JB Bickerstaff came in here, we all had this great feeling about him as a coach, and we saw what he did in Cleveland. But how surprised are you for how much he's been able to really develop and mold these players and guys that were here and doing pretty well to give them that confidence and that ability to take the next step? How much credit
I won't say I'm
get?
surprised. He gets a lot of credit. I'm not surprised, to be perfectly honest. I think we tend to look at coaches in every sport as almost like one-trick ponies. Like whatever you were at your first stop, that's the type of coach that you're going to be. We don't give them credit for being able to grow, to learn, and build sweat equity at other places and transfer it here. He gave these guys a clean slate. He didn't hold the 14-win season over their heads, or you guys lost 28 straight and had a miserable year. He wanted to walk in and give these guys a certain amount of confidence while still holding them to very, very high expectations. Like when you see him during the game, he is engaged not only with the players, he's engaged with the fans. Sometimes he's engaged with guys on the other team. Like he is really in it and involved. And I think players want to see you in the fight. They don't want to just see you on the sidelines barking out calls or whatever it is. They want to know that you are just as invested as them. And to come off of last year, he laid the gauntlet for even a guy like Cade Cunningham. He was like, I want you to be in elite shape. I want you to become a better defender. So if you're able to jump on the franchise players back a little bit and set higher expectations for him, nobody else can come in and slack when you're going in through the summer and through training camp. He set a high bar and he expects them to meet it.
You know what, Dan? Vinny talked about a 14-win season, and I'll be honest with you, I forgot they had a 14-win season.
14-win season and a 28-game losing streak.
I forgot all about that because of the way
and it
they're
wasn't
playing
that
right
long
now.
ago.
Just 2 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
No, I mean, they're just like, burying all of that negative history with the positives that they got right now, and it's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's exciting. There's no doubt about it. Hey, Vin, we still, I think, believe, and we talked about this the last time you were here, that they're still going to be a move away. They still need to find one more dude. Do you think it's smart to play this season out, get some Ivy time in and figure out what he is before you decide what that next move is? Because I'm guessing if it's what I think it is, it's going to be a move that's going to require a big commitment from the team where you're going to be saying, yeah, this next move is one we're going to be stuck with for a while, so it's got to be right.
Well, when you look at the way the salary cap is structured in the NBA, once you start committing a certain amount of money to 4 or 5 guys, you're kind of stuck with them. And not stuck in like a good way. It's going to be very difficult if you take on an aging player. Like, remember, Blake Griffin is really good on television, but when you got him here, he had about a season and a half, and then he became an albatross because of that contract. You don't want to bring in someone whose timeline is not the same as yours. Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren, Cade, Ivy, Ron Holland. That's a pretty sizable young core. Look at what Oklahoma City is doing. And I'm not saying that the Pistons are what Oklahoma City is, because they got all the draft picks, they got all the sweat equity, got the best GM in the NBA and Sam Presti. But when you look at the model of being able to draft and retain your own players, when you are in position to add, you got to make sure you're striking the right player at the right age. There's no pressure, Dan, on this team. They could win the next 10 games, and they could start running away with the East. There will be no internal, external pressure for this team to get to the NBA Finals this season. Most of us were saying, let's see them win the playoff round.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens if they get into the second round. It's important to keep those expectations in mind and not get seduced into, hey, let's go and make a panic move. Let's see what you have in Jaden Ivey. Let's see what these guys look like with a full season under their belt and getting around the league a time or two before you start saying, hey, let's go press the fast forward button. Because once you press it, you can't throttle back.
You just touched on it. I am dying to see what Ivy can do, because I really think he can be a player. I mean, what is the thinking out there around the league about him? It's unfortunate. It kills me we didn't get to see him last year, because it would have been such an opportunity to see him in the postseason. And now we're not seeing him early this year. It's going to take some patience. But, man, I think there's so much there. It's worth the wait to find out.
In theory, he's like the perfect complement to Cade Cunningham, because Cade is very deliberate and works at a pace. Ivy's a one-man fast break, right? He plays off of the inertia that Cade Cunningham creates. And in theory, people around the league were looking at not Cade, but Ivy and Duren and saying, these two guys didn't sign rookie scale extensions going into the deadline a couple of weeks ago. One of those guys is going to take a leap. One of those guys might wind up being available at the end of the season or around the deadline or whatever. You've seen Duren take a leap. You wonder what Jaden Ivey's going to look like. Remember, before he got hurt, he was shooting 43% on catch and shoot threes. And basically that's just saying, hey, when Cade penetrates and I get an open shot, I'm catching it and shooting it.
Yeah.
That's something that Asar Thompson doesn't have. That's something that Ron Holland doesn't yet have. He has an element of something that this team doesn't have, and he fits in perfectly. It's almost like this name will be said in hushed tones around Detroit for a number of years because of the disaster that he left. But one thing Troy Weaver was really good at was talent evaluation. It was a lot of things he wasn't good at.
Right.
But when he made these draft picks and when he tore it down and he said, and he plucked the identity, he got that right. He wasn't great at asset management, and the Monty Williams thing was a disaster. But he did do some things right that made this a better job for Trajan Langdon and J.B. Bickerstaff to walk into. And one of those reasons is because Jaden Ivey has so much untapped potential.
Yeah, and the trade up to get Duren was one of the best moves we've seen in the draft in the past couple of years, and it's getting better every day.
I mean, remember, we were talking last year about, is this team going to make the playoffs? They going to owe Minnesota a draft pick? What does it look like? Sometimes you got to take these risks to get younger players you better get it right. I will say this. If you are a team that's trying to rebuild and you don't have the free agency market in front of you, you better get the draft right. If you get a top 15 pick, a top 5 pick, you better hit on it. And the one player we haven't talked about that I'm more excited about than anybody I've mentioned is Asar Thompson, because he's got an element of athleticism and defense, and he can fit in and fit out at the same time. Like, if all things happen, like, he's going to be a player. Next year, you're going to be having these same conversations that you had about Duren and Ivey. You're going to be having about Asar Thompson, trying to lock him up. Can you afford all of these guys at the same time? If you can, that means you have become an upper echelon team in the Eastern Conference, and not just a team that's getting out of the first round, a team that has real bona fide chance at going to the conference finals and NBA finals. That's how close they are if these guys continue to hit.
Hey, Vinny, the people that I read that dive into this stuff all the time, this upcoming draft looks special, especially with those top 3 guys up there, the Boozer, Debansa, and Darren Peterson. Is there going to be some tankage in the second half of the season? I mean, like if you're Indiana and you're sitting there with 1 win, do you even bother at this point?
Do you have to tank?
That's a good point. I mean, if you're Atlanta sitting there with New Orleans' number 1 pick and New Orleans is sitting on 2 wins right now, you're thinking, come on, baby, let's go.
And once again, New Orleans made one of those draft day trades.
Yeah.
Troy Weaver, you know what I mean? Like, there's an upside and a downside to it. No protections on it. That's why it's so important. The Brooklyn Nets, they might be one of the worst teams I've seen in ages. They had 5 first-round draft picks, and none of them look like they can play. It's why it's so important. I know it's really important in football to get picks
Say that
right.
slower.
It's
They're
true.
doing 5 first-round draft picks, and none of them look like they can play. That's not good.
It looked like that on draft night that they drafted terrible.
I mean, that's just terrible.
It's so. I'm telling you guys, like in football, we used to say, get all your picks right, especially like in the later rounds, the thirds, the fourths, right, Dan? In the NBA, you got to get your first one right.
Yeah.
You don't have, you got 1 shot to get this right with the way that the maximum contracts are structured and everything else. Because if you miss on the top 5 pick, it sets you so far back because you have to see it through.
Ask Joe Dumars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, Darko's the gift that will forever keep on giving. Like, nobody remembers they won a championship that year, and nobody cares. It's just that Darko, like, good God.
Does Carmelo Anthony exist?
Yeah.
Do you win a championship if Carmelo's on your team?
Are you going to be at the game tomorrow night,
age-old
Vinny?
question.
Are you at the game tomorrow night at LCA tomorrow?
I will
right.
be at the game tomorrow
I'll
night.
see you
I don't
there.
have a night. I don't have a night off around here, y'all. What do you
Awesome, man. There's always something going on.
It's the season.
It's
Vincent
alive
Goodwill,
again.
NBA senior writer for
Vinny!
ESPN. Vinny, good stuff, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Hey, Dan, I need thoughts on Sunday night real quick.
Hey, man, this is going to be a good one. You know what?
Take
Some of
Philly.
these games that they put in prime time at the beginning of the year, they don't turn out to be what they thought they'd be. This is exactly what they hoped it would be. It's 2 of the best teams in football. You got the top team in the NFC who also happens to be the Super Bowl champion. Lions with a chance to go in there. I think Dan Campbell is loving this. If you've seen him talk this week about getting his guys ready to go to Philadelphia, he's smiling, man. He played in the NFC East for a long time. He knows what this is going to be like.
He's got a pocket full of batteries.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. Yeah, I think this is going to be fun. Listen, man, this is one where you find out a little bit about your stuff. You looked really good against Washington. Now go do it against these guys, and I think they're ready for that challenge. I think it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. Hey, look, if you double AJ Brown, I mean, maybe you force a little, you force a little meltdown, right? We'll see what happens. I mean,
Maybe the pressure is such that AJ Brown is a non-factor.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd
they're
be
obviously
nice.
feuding there. We don't know who called the 4th down play. We don't know if A.J. Brown's going to get. But I was talking to somebody today. I said, because all this is going on, A.J.'s going to get like 9 targets in this game. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun, though. Hey,
Good
you know
luck with
what?
that one.
It's nice that you're in the mix and you're fighting and you got a chance. That's what we've been waiting for a long time. Vinny, good stuff, man.
Looking
We
forward to
appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
Vincent Goodwill joining us right there. NBA senior writer for ESPN. We'll come back. We'll kick it around. Zoom link right there. Hit it up. Let us know. We'd love to have you join us on the show next. Take us out, Z. All right. House band bringing us back in. We got Deep Thoughts with Z coming up.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dig this.
Who we got, Tom?
We got Nick.
All right, Nick.
Nick.
What's up?
Hey, Nick.
What's good?
Nick.
Nick, are you frozen?
Is he frozen?
Is he frozen?
I think Nick's frozen.
He's being stoic.
Nick. There he is.
Ah!
What's up, Nick?
That worked.
What's going on?
Hey. Bertie.
Mic on.
I love it when they look. Oh, my mic.
Oh, no. I
mic
think
is on.
technical difficulties.
His mic is on.
Hang on.
Oh.
So-
Benjamin, we'll come back to
We'll come
we'll
back
come
to
back
Nick.
to you in a
We'll
second.
come back
Let's
to
try
Nick.
Ben.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Ben, what's up, man?
Hey guys,
What's going on?
nothing. So two things. Obviously, big game this weekend, this Sunday night.
Huge.
So I know you guys were talking about the Pistons just now.
Yeah.
What do you guys? Obviously, they're leading the East right now. Do you think they do good? Do you think they do big at the trade deadline or no?
That's what we were talking to Vinny about. I still think there's one big move coming for this team. If it were me, I got to see Duran. I got to see what. Ivy. I got to see what he can do. And I'm not worried if I have to wait till the offseason to make that move. I'm not in a rush.
I don't think there's going to be a big move at the trade deadline this year. I just think it's a little premature. I think they've got a lot of great pieces here. And even JB, when he came on with us the night before the season started, he said our depth is going to be our strength.
Yeah.
And now, prematurely, whether he's wanted to or not, he's had the ability to see those guys in action
Proven.
under pressure in some big games, and they've stepped up.
I think I'm with you, Dan. I agree that I'd like to see Ivy and what he can bring to this team before we start tinkering with something else. Or maybe, like Vinny said, adding some more money to this thing where, once you do that.
Yeah, because people talk about a Laurie Markkinen or somebody like that, who's a good player, really good
great,
player.
no
But
doubt,
he's also
no
like
doubt.
$250 million.
Right.
He's already
Big
locked
contract.
into that big deal. And I don't want to trade Ivy before I see what he can do, because if you trade him now anyway, it's pennies on the dollar.
How many times have we seen former Pistons players go somewhere else and be great, like Chris Middleton, like even Spencer Dinwiddie for a while was good. I mean, so I don't want to see any of that with Ivy, because I think his talent level is much higher than any of those guys.
Yeah. So I'm waiting to answer your question. I'm waiting till
I'm waiting too.
the off season to see what I can do, and then I'll reassess where I'm at when I get all those restricted free agents taken care of too.
I was gonna say, do you wait until the season's over and
I
then
do.
see where you go, or?
Because I think you're good
With
enough
Ivy?
to make a run in the East right now.
Right. The
I
East
really
is
do.
not-
A lot of teams are low this
I
year.
think they may win that series last year if Stu hadn't gotten hurt.
Let me ask him a question. Do you think Pistons are top 4 right now in the East?
The answer is yes.
Exactly, because if you do, then
Yes.
let it play out.
Yeah.
Let it play out.
Yeah,
Who
I
knows?
mean-
They might win it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
All right, we'll
and
take a
this-
break. We got Deep Thoughts
Go
with Z
Pistons.
coming up
Woo-hoo!
on the other side. Food for your
Deep.
mind.
Deep thought.
Food for your mind when we come back. All right. Hey, back on the sports office. Get our guy Nick up here. Nick, got 30 seconds.
Nick, hey!
30
How you guys
seconds.
doing
The
today?
floor is yours. Let's go.
I like to talk about the Pistons and like where we go from here with our season. First, I want to talk about the game coming up Friday night against Philadelphia 76ers in the group
Love it.
stage NBA Cup, which by the way I think we're gonna dominate against them. And I'm seeing all these rumors, seeing how we could possibly make a trade for Lauri Markkanen. And I just don't really see what we could possibly trade for him. I don't really see what kind of player we could trade for him other than Tobias Harris. And if we do trade Tobias Harris, I feel like we're either going to have to trade another player or we're going to have to trade like 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, you're going to have to give up to get Markkanen and probably a couple ones and Ron Holland, something like that.
That's a lot to think about.
Nick, appreciate it. Hit us again sometime. It is time for Deep Thoughts with Z. Dig this.
Dig it. I think.
Lights, please.
You know what? This might be Deep Thoughts with Nick.
Go ahead.
Nick is pretty deep.
Hit me.
All right, so dig this. This first, and I'm going to tell you what, now truth and deep thoughts come from any place. I was driving down 9 Mile, and there was a refuse truck, a big old truck, and I told Woody, this big truck, and on the side it said, fear is a reaction. Courage, that's a decision. I thought, I got to write that down.
I like that.
I like that.
You know what
You don't have
like
time to
that
think about it.
Woo.
You either do or you don't, right?
Y'all going to have to wait.
You either do or you don't. And
There
what do
you
you
go.
know if you're scared?
If you're scared, say you're scared.
That's
You
it.
got that right,
If you're
man.
scared, say you're
You
scared.
got that right, bro.
All right, so
Go
next
ahead.
one. Next one. My dad used to tell me this one. Wisdom can never be used in the time in which you learn it. Just the next time.
Oh, it's got to marinate.
He's got to marinate.
Yeah.
You can't be thinking you're going to do something.
Because chances
and
are
change at the
somebody's
same
passing
time.
it on. They're passing it on because you need it.
Well, there you go.
Why do you need it?
There
Because
you
you
go.
already messed it up.
There you
So
go.
the
There-
time you need it is the next time it comes around.
Already
Deep
messed it
Thoughts
up.
with Dan Miller.
Oh,
All right, so the
I
last
just
one.
translate.
All right, we got to go. We got to get out of here. So this is the next one. This is for Woody.
Yes.
Your next move will always matter more than your last mistake.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Yes.
Baby.
You know what?
See?
Give me a copy of that.
I will.
Okay, put it on my
It's got
desk.
your name on it.
I'll put that up. Thank you.
Saying no
Wow.
to the
Right.
last tequila
See?
Right.
can sometimes cover
Can
up for
sometimes
saying yes
cover
to
up.
the previous one.
There you go,
That's
Dan
what
Miller.
I was thinking.
You see? Lessons being learned right here.
Lessons
Hammer.
being
That's Jen Jen.
learned.
Hi, Hammer.
Jen, deep knowledge. Got anything for us?
I do.
Okay, go.
Go ahead. Here you go.
30 seconds, go.
Some stories start exactly when you stop trying to write them yourself.
Oh, I like that.
I like that, too.
I like that.
Can I write that down?
We're not in control. We're not always in control. Sometimes life just happens.
You can't control the
Most of the
narrative.
time.
That's exactly right. Exactly. Good stuff, Hammer.
Is it
All
time
right,
to go?
we're
That was
out.
deep.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Sports Office. Z, Hammer, Woody, James, Canner, Jeffy.
James.
How are you? Tommy.
Tommy, James.
Good night, everybody.
When the Edmund Fitzgerald was launched in 1958, she was the largest carrier on the Great Lakes. For the next 17 years, she routinely hauled iron ore from Silver Bay, Minnesota, all the way to Toledo, Ohio. But on the infamous night of November 10th, 1975, her legacy changed as the ship sank to the bottom of Lake Superior, claiming the lives of all 29 men on board. Welcome to Fox 2's special presentation, The Gales of November, the legacy of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I'm Derek Kevra. It was 50 years ago that the news trickled in that the SS Edmund Fitzgerald had succumbed to the winds and waves of Superior. But 24 hours before the ship went down, it was business as usual for the crew as they loaded up for their final voyage of the year.
That it happened so quickly that there was little chance that anybody from the crew could have survived this disaster.
Just like that, it went down. It's less than a minute. Cracked in half and it's gone.
No one could have imagined that when the SS Edmund Fitzgerald set out from Wisconsin to Detroit in early November 1975, that trip would be its last. Certainly not its captain or 28 crew members who were making a journey they had already made hundreds of times. Where does it take off from, and where's the course it takes that night?
Fitzgerald did 80% of its trips actually leaving Silver Bay, but this trip actually came out of Superior, Wisconsin.
The 5-day trip was one the famous ship made almost 50 times a year. But on November 9th, as the Fitzgerald leaves the Burlington Northern docks, loaded with 26,000 tons of taconite pellets, a storm in Oklahoma is headed in her direction. A storm pattern typical for this time of year. So they set sail. Soon after, the Fitzgerald meets up with another vessel, an important character in this story, the Arthur M. Anderson.
So they start to go up together, and they have a decision to make here. The Blau is already hiding from the storm. It's larger than the Fitzgerald. Do they go around and hide from the storm, or do they keep going?
Rick Mixter, a Fitzgerald documentarian, has spent decades telling stories of the shipwrecks on the Great Lakes, and has become an expert on tracing the last hours of the Edmund.
Typically, you'd go the shortest distance to get to Whitefish Point. But here, they decide to go very far north because they know when that front comes in, the waves are going to build.
Around 1:40 p.m., Captain Ernest McSorley issues a radio call that his vessel, the Edmund Fitzgerald, is rolling from inside the pilot house. Outside, blistering wind, heavy snow, and low visibility are making the water hazardous. 2 hours later, reports of damaged vents and broken fences come in, and the U.S. Coast Guard issues an emergency broadcast to find safe anchorage.
That means there's 8-inch openings in the deck with water pouring into the Edmund Fitzgerald.
And not only that, there's also possible damage from previous storms over the years. They could have stopped behind Slate Island near Canada, but instead, they push on. At the Otterhead, they turn south, hoping to slip between Michipicoten and Caribou Islands as they meet the heart of the storm. Around this time, the Fitzgerald's captain reports their radios are out. They're blind. They're going to need the other ship, the Arthur Anderson, to guide them. At 7:10 p.m., the Arthur Anderson's first mate radios to the Fitzgerald to ask how they're doing. Their famous response from Captain McSorley, "We're holding our own." But they weren't. It would be the Fitzgerald's final radio message. The ship vanishes soon after, along with its crew. The wheelman on board the Arthur Anderson would later tell his captain he thought he saw the Fitzgerald's stern light disappear from the water's surface.
He had a lift and he said he was holding his own. The last time I talked with him, he said he was holding his own, and that's the last time I lost contact after that.
Beyond debris, the only signs of what happened was the recovery of 2 inflatable life rafts and the remains of 2 steel life